What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on the Cobra. We're going to be replacing the AC accumulator to get the AC to work because it does not work at all. We're just going to go ahead and get started, pop the hood. First we're going to start off with taking off the old accumulator. I think it's called an accumulator. You're supposed to replace it every time you open the lines or something. We're going to get that replaced. We have the new parts right here. Here's the new one. And then here's some tools to take off the coupler things. And then I got a vacuum pump. And then we got the gauges right here. These are my dad's we're going to be using. All those parts we're going to be using. We're going to go ahead and just start with taking the accumulator off. First we're going to start off with taking off this clamp, I think. Seems pretty easy. We'll just push it off. There we go. Then we're going to take off this. Alright, we got the coupler removers right here. I think this one's the closest size. We're going to go ahead and just clamp that on there. And then we'll just push it and see if it'll come off. Update, so I did get this back one off, if you can see. I'm pretty sure the back one's off, but I'm fighting with this front one. I put some PB blaster on it. It's not coming off that easily, so I'm gonna just keep trying. See how long till I give up, I guess. I pulled this one out all the way, and I took out the nut all the way for the bracket. So then I had a little bit more wiggle room to fit the coupler on and get my hands on there good. Finally got this one all the way out. So now it's all disconnected. There we go. Now I can pull it all the way out. Got the old one out. Now here's the new one right here. It does come with new O-rings. This one right here, they're already on. This one, just gonna go ahead and replace those O-rings right there. The spring inside that one, we're gonna try and take that one out, put the new one on. That one ripped. Got all the O-rings off. Now we gotta get the spring out. Then we'll start putting the new ones on. There we go, got the first one. I got all the O-rings on and the spring on. I do have one extra O-ring, but it's a smaller one, so I don't really know what it goes to. These all have the O-rings already. And I thought it might be this one, but this one has an O-ring too. I'm just gonna leave that one out for now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start putting everything together. Go ahead and set it in. We got it set in. I am gonna put a little bit of PB blaster on the O-rings so they won't go bad. Also, it'll make it easier to slide on. There we go. If you heard that clip, got it all on already. Then we'll put the plastic piece on the back. Guess we'll move on to the front one. Take the red cap off. Put a little bit of PB blaster on this one too. And we'll slide that one in. No wonder it's hard to come off. This one's a little bit harder to put on too. Finally got this one all the way on. Took me a long time, just like it took to take off. Then we're gonna go ahead and put the electric thing back on. And it has an O-ring on it already. Wasn't that tight when I took it off, so make sure to tighten it down a little bit. We'll just go ahead and plug it in. Then we just gotta put the bracket on to hold it tight. I put the clip on for the one back here. Now that I got everything together for the new accumulator, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the vacuum pump and the gauges and everything. I got the gauges right here, and then I bought this vacuum pump. The yellow line will just go to the vacuum pump, and then we'll get these quick disconnects. We'll just hook them up to the AC lines. There's one, and then the second one we'll get. We got it all hooked up, and now I want to make sure before we start, we're going to open up all the lines. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to hook up the air compressor right here. We got it all pumped up now. I let it go for about 15 minutes and it went to right about this line, and it stayed there the whole 15 minutes. I went ahead and closed both the lines on the gauges, and then I unhooked the air compressor. So now we'll wait a little bit longer, probably 15 minutes more, and see if it goes down any. If it does go down, then that means we got a leak somewhere and we're gonna have to fix it, or when we put the Freon in, it's gonna leak out. But if it doesn't, then we'll go ahead and put it in and it'll all be good. Now that we know that it's not gonna leak any of the Freon out, we're gonna go ahead and fill it up with Freon. So first we're gonna hook up, I put this blue valve on, we're gonna hook up the Freon can to that, and then I closed the valves on the gauges again, and the ones on the car are open. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car up, put the can of Freon on, and then we're gonna slowly open up the blue valve and it'll suck the Freon in. And then we'll turn on the AC. We're gonna look at the AC clutch too. You see that it's not moving right there. So we'll go ahead and hook up the can of Freon. Open up the boost side a little bit. You see it went up. We'll go ahead and wait till the can gets all the way empty. So I did just see the AC clutch, it moved once, so we'll see if it kicks on here in a bit. Right there, you can see it's trying to turn on right there, it's spinning. I put the can upside down, so I think that's making it go a little bit faster, but if you can see the compressor, it's turning on for much longer times now. So it's getting that Freon in there. We might need to put, I think, about one more can, and then after that we'll be good. All right, I got the one can all in, so I went ahead and just closed the blue valve again, and then I took off the one can. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and put on another full one and fill it all up with the second one. From what I've seen, it takes about 34 ounces from what I've seen on the internet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put 2 in, that's 24 ounces, and we'll see how good it's doing after that. Alright, I got the second can all sucked in, but I was having a lot of problems. But the compressor is turning, the clutch is turning it all the time. It hasn't turned off once for like about 5 minutes now, so that's really good. It's at 30, and then it's about 260, which is, the red side's a little high, but it's blowing really cold air. I'll show you it's blowing about 40 degrees air, and it's 85 outside. So that's really good. I don't know what it was blowing out before, but it was not blowing out cold at all. I did have some problems though. My little cap, the needle inside there broke, so it wasn't sucking in any Freon, and the clutch even was like on, but it wasn't going, and it was like sparking the compressor and stuff. I was having problems with that. I had to turn it off, and it was messing stuff up. But I went and got a new one. It sucked in the Freon real quick, so I think we're all good now. I'll go ahead and take everything off and get the hood closed. I got the blue valve on the gauges closed, which is the most important thing. All of these are closed, so I can take them off. I turned off the AC. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and put my caps back on the valves. I got everything cleaned up. I did buy these caps new actually because they didn't have any on it. Now that we got everything done, just close the hood. Now that the AC is finally fixed, we're gonna go ahead and test it out, I guess. It's at 60 degrees right now. See how fast it cools down. It's way better than it was before. I never had a car with AC. The Mach 1 AC never works. Just like that, a minute or two and it's already at below 40 degrees. I got the AC fixed on the Cobra. I think that's gonna be the end of this video. It wasn't that hard. It was hard to get the accumulator off, that's for sure. And this car in the background, if you'd like to see more of that, I just made a video. I pulled the engine on it. I'm gonna be replacing it with the newer engine, so if you like that, click up above one of these corners and you can watch that video. And I'm gonna be making a video of me building the new engine in a bit, so stay tuned. I tried to fix the AC before actually. I was just gonna go ahead and put Freon in it, you know, and see if it would work, but the Freon actually ended up leaking all out, and I wasted a whole can, but it leaked out through the condenser lines, so I unbolted them to see what was wrong, and it didn't even have like O-rings on either line, so I changed the O-rings and bolted it back up. But since I opened up the lines, you're supposed to change the accumulator because it could get like moisture and stuff in there. So that's why we changed that. If you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and like the video, and please subscribe to my channel because I got a lot of stuff coming. Get the bell on so you get notifications whenever I post a video, because for the Cobra 2, there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming. I got a few boxes here, and that's just the start that's coming. And here's a little sneak peek right here. I'm just saying, be ready.